these women absolutely killed it. I'm John Rethlin with my review of Shimmer 118, Shimmer at the Collective. Now, I do want to say in full disclosure, this is the first Shimmer event, at least full event, that I've been able to watch and review, because I've been able to see the occasional matches on YouTube, but I simply don't usually have the time, work, other commitments and everything, but I heard of a few of these women, was like, okay, if they're on here, they're really good. I want to take the plunge on this, and it was a more than affordable price, and I hope many of you bought this, because these women deserve to be supported. And I was hoping to maybe find a breakout superstar, and oh boy, did I fucking find one. Now, as a casual viewer of Shimmer, I apologize. One, if I get any of these names wrong, I do apologize for that, but I don't know the backstories. But if there are any matches I should check out, please let me know in the comments, links, or just, type them in and I'll look for them. But thank you guys very much in advance. Anyway, Kenzie Page, who's been on AEW Dark, versus Nevaeh, who's been on Impact. Nevaeh and Kenzie crafted a good match here with some good strikes. Kenzie playing the young up-and-comer, cocky and everything. Like, oh, not that Nevaeh's old, but I'm just like, Kenzie's like, young. You have that youthful, like, exuberance and everything. And she was just like, I'm gonna beat you up. And actually, they crafted a good match here. But a kill shot DDT, 1, 2, 3. Nevaeh picking up the victory. Both these women have very bright futures. One thing I liked, the sanitization crew. Okay, that was very nice. That was a good touch. Doing the ropes and the turnbuckle pads. And then we get a sensational scramble match. We're supposed to be two women in the ring, and then they tag out and everything, but it was literally a scramble. All the women were just kind of in there, like, all going at it with each other. And we have Elena Black versus Queen Aminata. Again, sorry if I mispronounce this. Jody Threat, Alice Crowley, Big Mama, Brittany Blake. Now, I will say this. As I only barely heard the name Jody Threat. Elena Black, I believe, is going to be on an episode of AEW Dark coming up. I see why people praise her. She's got a good look. Jody Threat, you could tell, was a veteran here, or at least worked like a veteran. Big Mama was a powerhouse here. Brittany Blake was just kind of there to bounce around like a ping pong ball. Queen Aminata, she actually had a pretty good, dive outside. Alice Crowley was the eventual winner with a nice bridge pin, and Threat is very impressive. I think she's got, a good, good fire to her and everything, and had a good showing here. Elena, I really can praise a good amount of these women. They crafted a pretty good match here with some, good strikes. It was just a really nice pace here. But yes, Alice Crowley did get the pin, bridge pin for 3, and that was a very nice move to win it. And then we get Heather Monroe, who I met at the last indie show that I went to earlier this year. Very nice, by the way, despite the fact she plays a really good bitch in the ring, and I mean that with all respect. Like, she's just really, really good at playing that heel. She's really, really nice. And she took on Layla Hirsch, who I'd not heard of. And I'm glad that I watched this, because she actually has some good power, and Heather Monroe is very, very good with some good groundwork. Layla had some good power, and it was a pretty good match. Heather doing the heel cheating thing, with the eye poke and the most devastating maneuver in all professional wrestling, surprise roll up 1, 2, 3. And, cheating, she's the killer bay after all, so of course she's going to cheat to win. But you know what? It was good. And it was a good way to introduce Layla Hirsch to the Shimmer audience. As according to commentary, now I tuned out some of the commentary, not because it was bad, but just because I was like, okay, I'm just going to focus on the matches. But they did provide some good background here. And then we get Sierra and Kayla Cassidy versus Willow, Nightingale, and Solo Darling. Want to say this much right now. No disrespect to the other 3 in this. Solo Darling is going to be a huge, I emphasize, huge star. She's got the personality. She's got the ability in the ring. She's just got that, she draws your attention. And everybody else worked hard in this, but Solo Darling is the one where I'm like, okay, there we go. There's the star. There's the big star right here. There's the big star out of this. There's the big star out of, anybody I hadn't heard of. I could see her doing well here in Shimmer and also signing with one of the bigger companies soon. She's got the personality. She's got the pizzazz. I sound so goddamn white saying that. So, called the Bird and the Bee, by the way, the energetic entrance or whatever. I really did like that. And the tag work was really nice. Both these teams did work well together. Sierra and Kayla Cassidy were obviously working as the heel here, or the heel team, and they were doing some good work. And it's finish of Darling and Nightingale, which sounds just like a bad, like British, like a BBC show. So it hurts Donut. It's a powerbomb by Willow and then a sharpshooter variation by Solo, and that gets tap out, and that was good. So again, Solo Darling, I absolutely praise her, but all these women did really well. I can't praise it enough. I'm really happy that I ordered this event, and these women did a really good job. And Davine, again, sorry if you happen to be watching this, sorry if I got it wrong, versus Lacey Ryan, who was on a recent episode of Primetime Live. I can see why Lacey Ryan is praised. She is really good. Davine, though, hey, she had some good power here and, did some good tosses. There were some heavy strikes. She even hit a nice choke slam at one point. Lacey does get the win eventually, but Davine had a good showing. Again, I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of these names. We then get Hyen, I thought it was Hyun, but Hyen, versus Thunder Kitty, who is supposed to be like an old school, like throwback to women's wrestling of the past, like 99 years old, doesn't look a day over 95. It's a fun gimmick. It is what it is. Heart of Shimmer Championship. Hyen, I can absolutely see why people were saying she is really good. This was a good performance by her. And it's like, ooh, the claw. I had to say that during it. It was some close near falls and a double arm slam for 3, and Hyen gets the victory. And good, it was good stuff. And so far, we're doing some good stuff. I can't say the event was all perfect, but you know what? These women did go out there and kill it, and they did. And they, given the fact that they're putting on entertainment during the pandemic, I'm really glad that these women were able to go out there and be in front of hopefully a pretty big audience on Fight TV. So. Holodead versus Zoe Sky. Holodead, who I'd heard of, Thunder Rosa praises her. They had teamed up together, and I love Thunder Rosa, and I see why she praises Holodead. Holodead, obviously a big-time veteran, world-traveled, and, had pretty good entrance here. Zoe Sky, though, came out to the ring with, Sum 41's Fat Lip as her theme. I guarantee you that Zoe Sky was either born the same year that that song came out or a year before. She couldn't have been that old. I mean, I'm just saying she couldn't have been older than 2021. I'm not knocking it. It's a great song, but I'm just like I was 20 when that song came out. That's how old I am. So, Holodead had good groundwork here. Zoe with a nice tornado DDT though, some near falls, a big pump kick by Holodead. Flatline variation. I call it Flatline of the Dead, Flatliner of the Dead because I'm stupid when it comes to making up names. DDT on the apron rather. And in a big sky stomp, I think it's Zoe stomp, but it's big sky high stomp, 1, 2, 3, and it was a show of respect at the end. So Zoe Sky going over the veteran Holodead, but you know what? Hey, they want to build around Zoe Sky in the future. Good on them. And then we have Ashley Vox and Delmi Exo. They were the C sisters. Hooked on a Feeling is their theme. Versus Allison Kay, Marty Bell, Shimmer Tag Team Championship match. Little Red Riding Hood as their theme, and that was a pretty nice entrance. Pretty nice entrance. In all seriousness, I think both these women actually are very talented. Seeing them on NWA Power, seeing Sienna, well, actually seen both Sienna and Marty Bell previously on Impact, a few years before. I will say this right now, this was the match where I think they maybe went a little bit too long, and I don't know if there was a bit of a timing issue or something. Something seemed off at times. Now, that being said, especially Ashley Vox, Marty Bell, and Allison Kay having worked together a little bit on NWA Power, there was a bit of history there. And Delmi Exo, sorry, my apologies, is somebody that I'm not that familiar with her, so I'm not really going to say anything bad. But just the timing during some of this was a bit off. That doesn't mean it was bad, but among all the matches, I think this was one where there were some veterans here, but these things happen. I mean, I'm not going to knock any of these women. But there were a lot of hex puns because, hexclamation point because they, the whole hex theme got worked to death by Kay and Marty Bell. And Marty got tangled in the rope, so she couldn't save Allison Kay from being hit by the flopping fish, which was a senton 1, 2, 3. And the C sisters get the victory. One of them had real catch on the back of her tights. Real as in fish, and I can appreciate that. Kimberly versus Nicole Savoy, Shimmer Championship. Credit. Big credit here. Nicole Savoy is very good. World traveled. Kimberly, got to see her in Indie Show against Priscilla Kelly last August, I believe. And August or September, I think it was August. These two crafted a really good match here. Nicole Savoy, the Queen of the Suplexes. Kimberly, great to see Kimberly not only, being able to show her stuff outside of WWE, and she's been gone for a few years from there, but she's told her story about sobriety, overcoming, being sober, living a life of sobriety after she had some issues. Credit to her for that. I'm not going to tell her story, but just the fact she put that out there, that is a big deal. And she did that, and credit to her. She's having a great run. She's doing good in Impact as well. And Nicole Savoy and her, really good match here. That might be on my list of favorite matches of the year because, there's no pads around the ring, and they were taking some hard bumps. Nicole with a good leg lock, senton outside by Kimberly, heavy chops, a suplex on the floor. It sounded like friggin' Nicole's kidneys exploded. That was, ow. They laid this shit in. They really laid this shit in. Nicole with some great submission work. Snap Germans by both, but especially by Kim. Double arm superplex for 2. And a senton eventually by Kimberly for 3. She retains the Shimmer Championship and beats Nicole Savoy apparently for the first time. So that was good. That was a good event. I really enjoyed that. 2.5 hours went by quick. Was it perfect? No, but am I more than glad I spent my money? Absolutely. And you know what? I'll see if things align. I can watch more Shimmer events in the future. But I enjoyed it. Anyway, let me know what you guys thought of this in the comments. That is, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm Charles Retlin. I'll see you soon.